I was perusing all the main trades as I like to do, and I came across this really interesting article on Variety that was talking a lot about the tremendous success the box office has had thus far in 2022, with a lot of big surprise wins, fewer big disappointments. Like every summer, there's a big movie coming out that always disappoints. Fewer than they were expecting this year, to the point that it's actually rivaling this year. It's getting close to what 2019 was pre-pandemic.
Yep.
This comes to us from the folks at Variety. This is interesting. It says this: with those back-to-back triumphs and a speed bumper to Pixar's Lightyear, the summer box office has generated $2.27 billion between May and June 10th, according to ComScore. Those returns are 217% above the same time period in 2021 and only 12% behind the identical time frame in pre-pandemic America of 2019, which suggests that the doomsayers were absolutely wrong and people haven't forgotten about the movies. But, and this is where it gets interesting, but where does popcorn season go from here? Hollywood studios have already unloaded their surefire hits, leaving the rest of this summer's movie slate: Paramount's family comedy Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, Jordan Peele's thriller Nope, DC League of Super Pets, and Brad Pitt's Bullet Train, and Idris Elba's Beast, which looks really good, by the way, to look like a series of question marks. Any film on the lineup could turn into a sleeper hit, but it has box office analysts wondering, will Thor: Love and Thunder be the summer's last hurrah, or are there more box office surprises in store? So there's a whole bunch in this article to kind of unpack. Number one is, while I think we've all been kind of feeling like, wow, like the theater is really kind of surging right now. There's bigger successes than we thought. We still, the latest study in Deadline kind of shows there still isn't everybody been willing to go back to the movie theaters yet. And yet the numbers have recovered really well, only 12% behind the pre-pandemic era in 2019. That's impressive. But we've had big hits like Doctor Strange, obviously Top Gun Maverick. Jurassic World has made money. And it goes on. Thor: Love and Thunder just opened. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what's left for the rest of the summer? This summer, I think it's fair to say, is kind of front end loaded, because I think the biggest thing still to come is probably Nope. Mm-hmm. Nope is probably the biggest thing. And I don't see that being an $800 million movie. I hope it is. I hope it's great. But I don't see that. I don't think Paws of Fury is going to be huge. But maybe, hey, if it can do Bad Guys kind of numbers, that's not bad. So we'll see how that does. I have zero interest in DC Super Pets. But I don't know. Maybe everybody else is excited about it. So maybe that's just me. Hopefully that can do well. Bullet Train looks awesome. They showed us how much of it? They showed us the first reel of Bullet Train when we were at CinemaCon. And it's awesome. But I don't hear a lot of buzz from it from the average film fan. So I don't know how. I think the movie's going to be great, but I don't know how well it's going to do. So I think we're probably heading to a slower second half of the year, of the summer, I should say. Rob, let me throw this over to you. If you had to pick one of those remaining films, there's no other, Doctor Strange, Top Gun remaining, but if you had to look at those remaining films, which of these ones do you think could possibly be a potential sleeper hit that could boost the second half of the summer?
Well, aside from the family animation movies, and I always look at animation movies not necessarily as sleeper hits because they have a built-in audience of families. So if they're good,
yeah, look at Minions.
But Minions is a franchise picture.
That's true.
And maybe Paws of Fury, you could say something like that. But none of the movies that are coming out cost $200 million either.
Right.
So they're all lower budget films, which is what traditionally you see in August. Now, if a Nope, if it becomes a zeitgeist movie the way Get Out was, that people are talking about it, and it becomes, I don't even see, even if it becomes the biggest hit of Jordan Peele's career, I don't see a movie like Nope grossing $300 or $400 million domestically at all, because it's a horror, it's a genre movie, it's niche. It's not going to have the broad appeal of a Top Gun Maverick. It's not going to have a broad appeal of a
Well, it all
Thor.
depends on how many times Ray goes to see it, because I don't know that there's another movie that Ray is more excited for than Nope.
Fury? But like Nope, too. How much do these movies cost and how much are they going to make? I think Bullet Train looks great. But but in no way, shape, or form is Bullet Train, and I could be wrong, but it's not going to gross $200-400 million
Domestically.
Yeah, domestically. And I don't think it was ever thought that it was going to.
Yeah.
I don't know how much. Bullet Train might have been a lot more expensive, but I still don't think it's a $150 million movie. I just don't see it as that, because it's basically set. I mean, for what we understand, majority set on a train. So but it could be, more expensive with those directors. And
is this I keep forgetting, is this a David Leitch film?
I think it's the other.
It's the other one. Okay.
Yeah, I think. So I don't see it as being some monster hit. I don't even see it grossing $500 million worldwide.
No, neither do I.
But here's the thing.
But it doesn't need to either.
No. And these movies, I see them all as being fairly successful, though. I don't know about Super Pets. I mean, I haven't even seen anything on Super Pets that made me go, that looks good. I want it to be, but nothing I've seen on it made, even at CinemaCon, I'm like, not laughing, not enjoying it. But I think the movies can still make money. And I think if you don't necessarily have to have one monster hit, but if you have 3 movies that are consistently bringing in audiences for the month of August, we've got the end of the last half of July and August, they can still make sure that the business is healthy, because the movies are scaled back. You're not expecting $1 billion gross from a movie that isn't a big franchise property. So if a movie costs $50 million, but it makes $175 million, that's a pretty good result.
Amy, what do you think? When you look at the balance of the rest of the summer, I mean, obviously it can't be as big as the first half of the summer was, but is there any movie in there that you think has a chance to kind of buoy it up a bit?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think this summer has really seen people really excited to get back to theaters in a way they just haven't been, and rightfully so with everything going on in the world. But, I feel like we had these hits, and, obviously people really were enthusiastic about Top Gun, but I feel like we've had several sort of franchise movies that have been a bit of it was fun, it wasn't brilliant, I kind of felt like I had to see it because I liked the franchise, with like a Thor, with with the new Jurassic movie. But I'm wondering if we get one of these, like a Nope, where, Jordan Peele is very proven, people are very excited about his work. I'm very excited to see it, and I know a lot of people are. If one of these becomes just a huge smash just in terms of getting that word of mouth buzz, I'm cautiously optimistic that one of these could become a bigger hit than what we're expecting right now, just sort of riding the wave of that enthusiasm and people going, I'm loving getting back into theaters. Oh, and something just totally new and original and kind of brilliant and crowd pleasing.
Yeah, right.
The thing with Nope, I think what it has going against it, it's the same thing with Black Phone. I really liked the movie, but there was no urge for me to go back and see it again. I think if there's like a twist at the end of Nope, I think it's going to really depend on the first weekend, because like after that, it's like those movies, like I don't go back and see because you already know what happens at the end, which this movie might have. Also, it's just something that I don't think might not be any rewatchability to Nope. That's why I hope people go and see it like right away, because there might be something that spoils the whole thing. It seems like it's going to be something like that. Well,
and if it does, I feel like on the flip side, though, if it gets that word of mouth going of like, oh, you got to see it before you hear anything, is that going to push people out in a different way?
Well, yeah. And then there's a question of, is this one going to be more Get Out, or is it going to be more Us? Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I wasn't a fan of Us.
I really hope there are aliens in it. That would get me to go back and watch it.
Well, it certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
It could be a government play. I don't know. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? The box office has surged. It is 12% behind what it was pre-pandemic era, which is huge. But with what's coming for the rest of the summer, what can be a sleeper hit? What can raise that whole level up? Whatever movie you guys think it is, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
In these tumultuous times, life insurance can offer peace of mind that anyone who relies on you financially, a child, a parent, or even a business partner, will have a financial cushion if something happens to you. Policy Genius is an insurance comparison website that makes it easy to compare quotes from top companies like AIG and Prudential in one place to find your lowest price. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. Just click the link in the description or head to policygenius.com/Campea to get personalized quotes in minutes and find the right policy for your needs. The licensed agents at Policy Genius work for you, not the insurance companies. They're on hand through the entire process to help you understand your options so you can make decisions with confidence. Policy Genius doesn't add on extra fees. Your personal info is private. Policy Genius doesn't sell your details to third parties. Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. Policy Genius has options that offer coverage in as little as a week and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Since 2014, Policy Genius has helped over 30 million people shop for insurance and placed over $150 billion in coverage. Head to policygenius.com/Campea to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save.